All right, guys. Today is August 23rd, 2023. Um, Welcome to my trading tape. Today I'll be trading US30. Right now I'm going to do my morning analysis, do a top-down analysis starting with the daily chart, and then from there make a determination of where this um, indice will end up going, really. I'm looking at the Forex calendar to see if there's any news that could potentially, you know, influence the trade. Uh, One thing I've learned is that you don't want the news to influence your direction of the trade. Really, what it does is influence or encourage the trade to go the direction of your bias. And if it doesn't, then that's out of your control. But today we have a flash manufacturing PMI and the flash service PMI. Not gonna lie to you guys, there's some times that I don't know some of these things. I'm still learning. So really, I started making these videos more for documentation for myself, so I can go back and study them and see if I get distracted. Go watch the tape and make sure that I followed my rules. Um, I also use it to hold myself accountable, and so that I can go back and watch it again and see what things I could have missed. So that's the purpose of these videos, but I figured I'd put them on YouTube for people to watch, just because there are a lot of people out there that could use this information or could study the charts with me, and ultimately learn together, right? I am trading on my Forex fund account, so this isn't my own capital. This is actually for my Forex funds, and I'm still learning. This is my third year, or I'll be my third year in November of learning how to do these things. Um, but really, something one of my instructors talked about is you can't really count yourself as a 3 year if you haven't been journaling for 3 years. And this would be considered my first week properly journaling. And I say properly doing videos, putting notes, which you can find in the comments, grading myself to see what my overall grade was of following my rules. And I use ChatGPT for that. So like I'll put my rules in ChatGPT and then I'll make my notes. Now I'll import my notes into ChatGPT, asking it to give me a grade, and I let it kind of determine what my grade is. And I use it that way because it helps me do like a in person or like a third person determination, right? Like it's like someone grading you essentially. So that's why I do it that way. Um, but yeah, I use ChatGPT for that reason, and then um, I also use those notes to be able to kind of go back and study and figure out what I could have done different. One other software that I want to get, which I haven't gotten, is TradeZilla, because it like kind of it gives you a calendar and it shows you how you've been doing for the month, the week, the year. But it's like 400 a year, so I haven't paid for it yet. But it's definitely something I think I'm gonna invest in. But for now, this is the way I'm doing things. Um, as far as the calendar goes, at 8:45 a.m. we have some news coming out, like I said. So I'm going to take that into consideration depending on my bias. So at 8:45, which is right now we're at what is it? 8:22 a.m. So at 8:45, this will this news will come out, and we'll see the market act out or do something, right? But for now, let's go ahead and do my top-down analysis so that we can determine what direction we're going with our trade today. These marks I had made yesterday. In my previous videos, I didn't really have audio. I was still setting up, so this is going to be pretty much the format that I'll be recording in next time, or moving forward. Okay, so I've marked daily support and resistance zones, right? I noticed that last month this moved pretty exponentially, and this is more like a pullback here. I noticed that there's some kind of consolidation in this area here. So what I'm assuming this is here is a accumulation pod. So one thing you have is accumulation, people buying, and then distribution, people selling. And that's kind of like this whole, constant. And I have my notes here so I can tell you the exact formula of how that works. If I can pull that up. There you go. Got the stages. Make notes so that I can make sure to know what I'm talking about. So yeah, accumulation is this one here, or say this. You have an accumulation pod, then you have markup, distribution, or I guess in this case, it's not going to be pretty all the time, right? But just give you an example, a better example. So you got accumulation, which is here, markup, distribution, where they're selling off, and then you have decline. And then it just does that over and over again. And that's basically how the market moves. But I feel right now we are probably entering into a accumulation period, but it's definitely on a it's selling off, essentially, selling off throughout the month. My thing is, because there's a support line here on the daily, I had expected it to continue moving up. It also is on a trend line for the uptrend, which made me think like, okay, well, this has to, start moving forward, going upwards. Now, one of my rules is that it has to break the previous bearish candle if you're going to go bullish. So the top of this candle has to be broken. So it has to go over this here for it to start reversing. And the reason for it has to close over it. And that's one of the things that, sounds like common sense, but we overlook these things a lot of the time. So that's my rule. It has to go over this bearish candle. But it doesn't mean you can't trade it. That's just if you want to go on a long-term biased trend, right? So for now, we're expecting it to reverse and continue up, but we need some kind of confirmation. So I'm going to go down to my 4-hour chart here and see if I can find any higher lows, higher highs. Let's see. Lower low, lower high, lower low, equal low, lower high, equal low, lower high. So this right here already is starting to look like it's hitting some kind of resistance. In this particular spot here. scrunch it up a little bit so you can see what I mean. So it's hitting this resistance area, right? And on my daily chart, what I'm expecting is either it hit here and then continue up, or hit the lower area and then continue moving forward. But if it was to continue down over this line here and come, let's say, down to this point where it breaks completely this zone, at that point I would expect it to come down like this, bounce off of this support line area, and then it continue dropping, right? But until it does that, my bias is still long on US30. So what I'm expecting for now is for it to bounce off of this area and continue moving up. That is my bias for the daily chart. And then secondary would be for it to continue going down. It comes down this way. We can change the color of this so that we can see both. We'll do orange for that one. And then what I'm going to do is duplicate it. Like that. If it comes down, it can either bounce from this previous support area, fake us out, and come down this way. And then we have a new downtrend, right? That can happen, or this can continue dropping like so, come down to this area. That would be a major drop, which I don't think is going to happen. But again, you just never know with these things. Comes down and then continues this way like that. So those are like the possibilities, right? But honestly, I think it could continue moving up. So for the 4 hour, we have this support area in the bottom. It's already going to be 8:30, so I just hit 8:30, but we're waiting 15 minutes till the news comes out. I really kind of started late. I should have done my analysis an hour ago. I should start by 7:30, but I had to go run some errands, unfortunately. Regardless, so you got this support area, bounces 3 times. One thing that I have in my notes that I need to keep in mind is that these areas here can be broken. I have an example of that. Here. So if it touches this area multiple times, usually it's a sign of, a buying up or a selling opportunity. If, let's say, the price keeps trying to hit here and it's just getting weaker and weaker and weaker, it's kind of like hitting a wall multiple times and it keeps cracking, right? Eventually it's going to break. So we can expect this to drop, which is another thing to kind of keep in mind. Yes, my bias is I want it to bounce off the support line and then continue moving up, right? But it can very well break through this area and then continue dropping. So that's something to really keep in mind because it is a possibility. So we just going with a grain of salt. That's why you need to have your confirmation moments. So we'll see the hourly chart. I think I had changed this, but I'm gonna make it more like Trading View so that we can actually move around the chart a little bit. Did I do this wrong? Oh shoot, I think I messed up my chart. Let's fix that. I remember I had set it up before, and I don't know how I did it to where you can use like Trading View. It's not working. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Finally got it. Okay. Wait, but it's still not letting me. It's weird. Trying to get it out of the way so it doesn't get covered by my face. Doesn't work. Alright. Sorry guys, this thing is not letting me fix my charts the way I want. I'll fix that later. But anyways, pay no mind to these. I need to delete that. These are from the last day that I was trading. I'm going to clear out my charts so that you can actually see what I'm doing. I take it this is my bias from earlier. And then obviously this is the long-term day trend. Here. So I think I'm going to delete this because we kind of already know that it's on an uptrend. We don't really need that line there. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with my charts right now. Okay. Why? Okay. Yeah, I think I made it worse, honestly. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. Alright, so we're on the 4 hour. We still have that little wall. If it breaks under this, I might buy it, but I would need for it to come down like this. And then come back up. And then continue down. Like that. That's what I would need on the 4 hour. not allowing me to do my charting. Alright, so I'm gonna put my face there for now. Okay, so we have a why is doing that? It's so annoying. Yo, my charts are not wanting to participate with me. Trying to do my analysis. Okay, so it's either going to continue down. If it's going to go up, though, we'd have it come up like this, and then come down like this. And then have one more go up like that. So that is basically the idea behind what can happen, because we have this support area, but this is not going to hold if it doesn't break the resistance points of these here, and it would have to have some kind of like confirmation going up, right? And this is an hourly chart, so unless we have some kind of confirmation that it's going to start reversing, then our bias has to be short, essentially. Because it's still been going on a downtrend, but it's kind of going sideways. So you're expecting buyers to start picking this up, right? But that's kind of a determination that we have right now. Yeah, same thing here, kind of in the right space. So this is a 30-minute. Let's go to the 5. Okay, in our 5-minute, we see hello, hi. We haven't had any type of break out yet. This could essentially, well, you have your, no, I'm not even going to make that biased. Yesterday I tried going long here, and I got stopped out. So I put my stop loss here. I got into early right here, and then I thought it was going to, because it closed over, that I was going to go bullish, right? And then it stopped me out completely. Just continued down. So right now, I'm just going to wait for confirmation. I'm not going to touch it at all. I'm going to clean up my charts a little bit, just because now that we have our bias, we can either go one of two ways, right? So I'm going to go ahead and delete all my arrows. I like to keep my charts clean, and normally I'll use TradingView, but I'm still kind of figuring out how I want to do these videos. So like I said, these are more for me to document what's going to happen. Okay. we have our hourly chart here. It's only been 25 minutes since we started doing our analysis. From what I've seen so far, I feel like it could go short. The only thing that's keeping me from getting a position right now is the fact that there's this strong buy zone, supply zone, if you will, or demand zone. Yeah, I think it's demand. I have to go back to my notes just to make sure. Yeah, demand. Had it right. So we have a demand zone here in this red area, but I'm just not convinced. We need some kind of confirmation. So what I would like to see, if I'm going to go long, I would like to see this break out, right, like this. Have some kind of like really strong movement, and then come down, touch this area, because it's a resistance point, and then it continues up. That's what I want to see, if it goes. Now, if it breaks down, say on the hourly, we want to see it go down like this. Come test it. We buy or sell here, and then short it down this way. Like that. That's what I'd like to see. So it's either going to be, make these green. So for this one, we'd buy here at the pink line area. Put like a little box there. And then for this one, we'd buy in this area here. So we'll wait and see how this plays out. Like I said, I'm not going to go long just because of how it's like playing out overall. I'm not really convinced that it's a move. And that's the one thing about the 1 minute, the 5 minute chart that kind of always gets me. You can get little moves here and there, right? Let's say I would, because you have a uptrend essentially being created, so you have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low, and then higher high, technically speaking. Comes down here, higher low, right? And you can buy it in this general area if you really wanted to go that route, and then go this way. We could do that. but I'm not convinced that that's going to be the case. Did it just hold? The price just stopped moving, right? Okay. Go back to the hourly chart just to see how it plays out. It's 8:47 right now. The announcements are coming out. Looks like price has paused. As you can tell here, this is not even, there it goes. Pause for a second there. So let's see how this plays out. Let's go to the 5-minute. I don't know. We'll see. I did bring my bread today. This is one of my favorite breads. It's like from oh, you can't even see it. So I cut it in threes, but basically it's a concha, which we call. It's one of the sweet bread. It's really good. Any Mexican shop, I know the Michoacana if you live in Texas. I don't think they have those in California, but they have the breads there. I saw a video the other day, which I thought was kind of funny. There was this is a black guy that was like, he was like, "Oh man, these Mexicans are holding back on us, hiding sweet bread from." I thought it was hilarious. Uh, yeah. But to all my friends out there, if you want sweet bread, that's where you find it. At least the good stuff. You gotta go to the Mexican areas. Oh, and what I like to do is dip it in milk. So yeah, it's a lot of carbs, but it's good. So I'm gonna pause it for now, and I'll start recording again if I see anything interesting. But for now, our bias is. I don't think we have. Well, we have a bias that it's going to reverse off of this area, but if it breaks it, then we're going to wait for a bounce and then continue down. So that's basically the plan, and we'll see how it plays out. So I think one thing I forgot to mark on this is this high here. Um, so we have a lower high, and so if we want it to go back up, we need to break this lower high here. So I need to mark that here. This is our area of interest. If we're going to go long, this has to break. I'm going to take this part. Take this guy off. So it has to break through this swing point and then retest it and then continue up. If we want to go long. Now, because it's an hourly, obviously it'll take a while for it to break through. But one thing that we do is go to the 5-minute, and if we see that move break through, and then we see like something similar to it, that's when we'll go long. Right now, it's kind of just consolidating, really. This is a 5 minute chart just to give you perspective, and it's not moving anywhere. It's not going in any direction. So it's kind of one of those things where the news, like, it's come out, but really we're not seeing any reactions. As far as the news goes, our results look bearish. So really, this can be um, the news. It's almost close to what they were predicting, anyways. Forecast. So like this is very close to what they thought was gonna happen, but because it's bearish, that can help the bias of it um, breaking through this red area here. So depending on how things play out, we'll see. Um, but like I said, you can't marry your bias, so you got to kind of like be weary. Um, New house sales, the housing market. I noticed that that's coming up in 5 minutes. Personally, I feel like housing has been getting very expensive. I don't think people are buying houses, and if they are, then I mean it's a terrible time to be buying. Um, you know, so it's one of those things. But we'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it helps us in our situation. But for now, like I said, I'm just gonna watch it until I see some form of confirmation. Technically speaking, here on the 5 minute, it's tested it twice. I can go long here, but that would be very risky because even on the hourly chart, even on the 15 minute, um, it hasn't broke a higher low yet. So even on your 15 minute chart, it's still kind of like testing this area. So really, if you went long here, it would be too soon. You don't really have a confirmation for that, so we gotta wait. So I'm gonna pause it again until I see something that we can use, uh, and then go from there. All right, guys. So it looks like the news just came out on um, the new home sales information. Let me share that with you guys. So new home sales 714K, which is the result of it. Our expectation was 705, and the previous was 684. So it's actually higher than what we expected, which is a good thing. Um, Still, as far as like our trade goes, as you can tell here, like it gets a little bit of interest, buying interest after that news, which is good. Obviously, still following our rules, we need to see a break of structure, swing point break, retest, and then continuation. That's basically what I'm needing in order for me to go long on this. But as far as the 9 a.m. news, looks like, it was good. The one that we're waiting on at 9:30 is for the crude oil investor stuff. So we gotta wait, see what happens there. Um, and I think that after this news comes out after 9:30, that's when we'll probably see the market start to make some moves, and then we can go from there. But until then, I'm just gonna sit and wait and see what happens. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause it again, and I'll be back once it's once we are back. I don't know what I'm saying. All right, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so it's about 30 minutes. Oh God, I'm tired. Uh, it's about 30 minutes since I last logged in. We have little to no movement, as you can see on our chart here. It's following the green line, surprisingly. I just kind of set it to show where I wanted it to go, but it wasn't intended for it to be following it. If we go to our calendar, this is very positive. So, this is good. Um, I mean, we'll see if it has a reaction to it or not, but that's basically it. I mean, we gotta wait. Um, I've already kind of determined that today wasn't really going to be a trading day at this point. I usually give myself till 11:30 to kind of sit and watch, but if nothing happens by, I still have to establish a rule on that. I'm not really sure how long to wait until after I've done my analysis and everything. I think I've heard 2 hours, so it'd be until 10:30. But I think 11:30 would be a good time. But what I am going to do right now is I'm going to note take everything that I did today. Here, I'll show you what I'm doing with that. So what I do is I'll go to ChatGPT. It's not, oh, here it is. So here, I'll show you an example. So as you can see here, I'll input, I need a grade today. Here's my notes, and then I'll input my notes for the time, and then ChatGPT will spit out from the rules that I've set for myself. It'll tell you which ones you followed and which ones you didn't. Yesterday I had a C minus because I broke my rules, and I actually lost money because of it. So that's basically what I'll do, right? And then I'll put it in a notepad first, and then I'll copy and paste it. And that's what you'll see at the bottom of this video in the description section. I also keep them in folders on my desktop with screenshots. So like I'll screenshot this, basically note taking what I did to document all of my trades and stuff. But that's basically it. That's pretty much what I do, and it helps me for anybody that's trying to find a way to, you know, stay accounted for. So what I'm going to do right now, like I said, and I can even show you how it produces it, but I'm going to create my notes, and then I'm going to input them, and I'll let y'all see how it populates it. So just give me a second, and I'll have that for you guys. All right, so I put in my notes, I put Wednesday 08/23, 2023. Today I started out, today I stayed out of the market. I did my top down analysis from daily chart to 5-minute chart. I also checked to see if there was any news coming out today. I noticed that the news had little to no effect on the overall price. Therefore, I have not taken a trade. can you give me a grade for today's trading day? That's what I'm putting in ChatGPT. So I'm going to copy and paste this. And really, I want to kind of see, because I haven't really tested this part out. So I want to see if it'll take, like, in consideration or use common sense to say, you know what, he stayed out of the market, I'm going to give him an A for that, right? Or do I have to input it? So we're about to find this out together. So let's see what it does. I'm sending it. Let's see what it does. Dang. So, all right. I am honestly really impressed by this. I had no idea. I didn't tell it anything about staying out being a good thing, right? So, ChatGPT determined that it's a good practice to check news and its impact. And it gave me an overall grade of an A for staying out. For Wednesday, you determined, you demonstrated you demonstrated patience, discipline, and thoroughness in your approach. You actively analyzed the market, checked external factors like news, and made a concise decision not to trade due to the lack of clear opportunities. This earns you an overall grade of an A for the day. Remember, sometimes the best trades is not taking one, especially when conditions aren't favorable or clear. That is fucking amazing. Wow. Yeah, that to me really kind of, I'm impressed. Huh. I really thought it was gonna grade me wrong. But damn, okay. So this is good. Um, that being said, I'm gonna copy this and put it in my notes. I am actually really happy with that. So, wow. That's very impressive. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, there's a way I copy it better because it'll separate everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the clipboard here, copy that, and then paste it in my, like that. Well then. Not gonna lie, that made me a lot happier than I thought. I'm so surprised that it actually takes. I mean, I shouldn't expect anything less, right? I guess, but the fact that it did that on its own, where I was like, "Hey, like, give me an A if I don't, if I stay out of the trade," right? Um, nah, that's really cool. That made my day. Not gonna lie. All right. Let's see. It's 9:45. Really, I haven't seen anything today, and it's kind of one of those things. I already gave myself a grade. I got an A for staying out. Um, I read everything's in the description if you want to read it again. But if you look at my other videos, I didn't have myself talking in them. I'm still trying to do this documentation. Um, I'm still trying to document things and figure out how to do it right. So I just incorporated the microphone and this webcam so that I can basically watch what I do. I did pause it in between, and I did get on my phone, which are some things that I normally would record, but the last video I did where I recorded the whole hour or the whole session, I had like 4 hours, and it's still uploading onto YouTube. So that's why I kind of kept it short by pausing it. Um, but I'm still trying to get a feel for it to see how I'm going to do this to where it's, you know, consistent and not boring for you guys, because I know, the in betweens where I'm just sitting here. And honestly, I should just be doing this for myself. This is really just my own documentation, so I can go back and watch myself and my trades. But I think having this interaction to where other people may be able to use it will help a lot. Um, we're still watching the market to see what happens, but ultimately, I'm talking or I'm talking about everything that I'm experiencing, because I feel that there's some people out there that may be able to use this and to their advantage, right? And moving forward, as I start to progress, I'll start to incorporate TradeZilla, how I use it. I'll incorporate some of my or I'll incorporate TradingView, because I know the charting system's a lot better on there. But for now, I'm just using MT5 and ChatGPT and the calendar, which is a forex calendar. And that's basically it. And hoping that we do something good for people. Really, I'm doing this for myself. Like I said, I'm just documenting. So hope that helped. If you are watching these. Otherwise, to myself from the past, this is what we're doing to improve. And anything that I would like to say to future me is, today I feel kind of tired. I took my ADD medicine. I used to take ADD medicine, for the people that don't know, when I was a kid, and then I stopped in like 10th grade. And as of recently, I'm 30 now. I started taking it again just because I feel very tired. I do exercise every now and then, but I feel like working on a computer all day kind of starts to weigh on you. And really, it's tough, because um, I want to be able to stay productive and get up and do all these things, right? But a lot of the time, I feel like overwhelmed and overly exhausted. So I have to resort to taking medication, unfortunately, for now, right? And if anybody out there knows a better way to handle this situation, maybe it's something I'm eating or whatever, feel free to let me know. Put it in the comments. I'm not ashamed, man. Like, it is what it is, right? But it's hard, man, because like we're out here trying to make it. I started trading maybe 3 years ago, and I just recently started doing this. I did start doing videos before, but if I'm being honest, I had no idea what I was doing. So there was no structure, and I had no playbook. I was just making videos to make videos for entertainment's sake. I found it entertaining and enjoyable to trade, and that's the reason why I started doing the videos. So it's kind of one of those things where I felt very, you know, excited, I guess, to start these things. I don't think I'm making sense. But just to give you a little background, I wanted to have a creative outlet at one point, and trading kind of took me out of a lot of turmoil when it came to things I was going through at the moment when I first started, and really creating those videos at that time was my creative outlet. And then I stopped because I started posting these videos and I would watch them and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, I was sitting there thinking like, man, like, who am I to give people advice? Like, I haven't studied anything. And so I want to say like a year, about a year and a half that I've, stopped, that I had stopped recording, and that was my old channel. So I would post it on my original YouTube channel, which is Antonio Lopez Valero. That's the channel. And those videos honestly were crap. Like, I look at them and I'm just like, man, like, I mean, I made them look pretty because I have a background in film and television. I tried some that were like not edited well, and then I tried some that were edited better. And I mean, I've realized that it's not. I mean, yes, making things look good is important, but it's not everything. You don't have to make everything look pretty. Sometimes it's the information that we share that's more important than the way something looks. Visuals, yeah, they look good. Things look good whenever you make them look pretty, but that doesn't always make it. That doesn't always make it good content. Um, so these videos, I'm making it more about what I'm sharing with you guys and with myself, so that I can go back and document. Like, okay, well, you know, I I learned this on that day, or I stayed out, and to feel good about it, and so I can see my progress and my growth, right? Um, it's hard. It's hard out here, man. And I'm here by myself every single day, grinding away, trying to make these videos, or not even making these videos for anybody. I'm making them for myself. But I'm grinding away, trying to learn this craft. I'll just share my notes with you guys. So this is a little book. I call it. So my wife, girlfriend, gave me this book, and I never knew what I was gonna do with it. But she was like, "Hey, this book, I'm gonna give it to you because I found it at the store and it reminded me of you, and I thought you might enjoy it. I don't know what you'll use it for, but here it is." And really, I didn't know what I was gonna use it for either. But I made it my trading Bible. So I put my little note in the front saying what stage I'm at. Right, I'm on stage 3, struggling month. My goal is to be funded by the end of the summer, which is now. Uh, but also, if that doesn't happen, I would like to start 2024 as a consistent prop trader. So that's my goal. Um, and then I also put, we as day traders make money by spectating on the value of an asset. We make money by betting on what decisions is being made on a trading floor. We ride the news, the moves that is made by the decision makers. We pay a fee to participate, but our fee has no effect on the market direction, which is so true. If I take a trade right now, it's not going to make it go up, And I remember there was a book that I read. I can't tell you the title because I really don't know which book it was. But there's a book out there that talks about how the market isn't in our control. There was a trader out in New York back when they used to do like pink slips and like go back and forth, um, that talked to his colleague about like, oh, well, I think the price is going to go down, it's going to plummet, and this and that. And this is a guy that had big pockets, right? And so he's like, yeah, the price is going to go down. I think it's a good idea to buy it, right? And so this guy with big pockets was like, oh, really? You think that's not going to go down? He makes a call. Boom. Calls. Hey, I want to buy a couple $1 million worth of this particular stock. calls, hangs up. It's fucking the bag just goes. It takes off. Moral of the story is, we as retail traders, we have no control of where the direction of the trade is going to go. We can only ride it. And needless to say, that particular stock that guy bought blows up. Everybody gets excited, so they start buying in, and everybody starts pushing this stock. He sells, things starts to move back down, and that's the end. That's the end of that story. And it's tough, man. Like, really thinking about it, it's like, okay, well, we have no control over what's going to happen. But using techniques, making a playbook, really kind of keeping up with the things that are happening through the news, and just kind of like tying it all together, it can give you an edge, give you an opportunity. I think what I'm going to start doing with these videos, because it does help me. It helps me talk about it. It helps me, not that it helps me talk about it. It helps me remind myself of the things that I've learned, so that I can refresh myself. Because, like I said, I don't have colleagues. So I think what I'm going to do throughout these videos, we'll do the market analysis in the morning. And then if I think of something to talk about, obviously after the market analysis, I'll pause it. And if something comes up where I'm like, hey, like this is something useful, I'll talk through while we're waiting for the market to react. I'll talk to you guys about it. And this can be like our own little personal banter back and forth. And, when we catch the market doing something like this right now, obviously I'll stop talking and then we'll go into the trades and stuff. But I think that could work. I might start doing that and then share what I've learned so far. Maybe even, draw it out for you guys while we wait for the market to keep moving. I think that would be fun. Honestly, I think that could work. I'm going to try that out. Let me know in the comments if you guys think that's a good idea for this. The few that actually watch this whole thing. Because I know it's really long. But I think it'll be good for us. And also, I think what I'm going to do for some of the people who do want to use ChatGPT, I just thought of this. What I'm going to do is create the checklists and everything that you could just copy and paste to input to ChatGPT, so that it can grade you. And then you just use that for your grading system. Because I know the reason I started using Chat is because really I can't afford paying for TradeZilla yet. So I needed to figure out a way to, have a system that would grade me correctly without my own personal bias on it. So, yeah, that's the reason why I think I'll do that. That's about it, guys. Well, that's all I have. I'm still kind of sitting here to see if this price breaks out or not, but really I'm pretty much done at this point. I already put my notes for the day. Nothing's happened yet. I guess I'll still screenshot this. One thing I can share with you guys, in case you are wondering what this is called Magic Keys. And it's a keyboard. Here, I'll show you guys on the browser. So it's called Magic Keys. And it's a trading software. You can get either like the actual keyboard that you can order, or you can get the the so like you can get this actual little keys that like you can use that's actually like on your desktop, or you can get the software on screen version, which I have the on screen version just because I didn't want to have to pay extra money for it. I really, like, guys, I'm a starting like trader. I'm not like a rich one yet, obviously, but I figured, on screen. Oh, they're charging monthly now. Wow. Okay, this is new. I have a lifetime access to it, so I'm surprised. Holy crap! Okay, I didn't know they were doing a monthly. Well, that kind of sucks. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know. Physical version. Maybe the physical version is like free shipping, one time purchase. Okay. So if you get the physical, now you have to get the physical version. And you can basically use it on your desktop. And you can connect it to a bunch of different devices too. Uh, yeah, but this is what I use. It allows you to manage your trades, put like the amount you want to risk per trade. So it does all the work for you. And then this little screen that I was showing you guys over here, this guy, like as you can see, there's two bars. So I allow myself 2 trades a day. If I lose one, then I give myself a second attempt. If I win one, then I'm done for the day. Like that's it. And I got that idea from Lambo Raoul because that's what he said that he did, and honestly, he's pretty successful at this point. So that's why I'm following him with that idea. And with prop firms not having a time limit anymore, it's pretty, it's a pretty useful system to do. But yeah, this is Magic Keys. It's the one I use. Yep, that's about it. It's 10:03. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it, guys. We didn't take a trade today, but that is, you know, that's just how some days go. You win some, you lose some. Alrighty. Well, I'm closing this out. See you tomorrow.